This is Luke.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luke of Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Core. It is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And today we are talking, well, a lot of issues, basically everything on in or around Underworld Unleashed. So it's Green Lantern 68 and 69, was it Guy Gardner 35 to 37, and Darkstars 35 to 37. Our national nightmare is almost over, kids.
Our long national nightmare.
I mean,
seriously. And I have questions about Underworld Unleashed because there's a lot that I don't remember about it.
Yes, we'll have to piece this together because I hadn't read the whole thing of it either, but pretty much.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say, sorry. So pretty much the whole synopsis is Neuron, who's basically, for those of you who don't know, kids, basically DC's version of Mephisto, basically came to, well, mostly villains, but I mean, as we'll see in the Guy Gardner thing, he came to heroes too, and basically, well, and Cal too, and offers them, either power upgrades or magic wishes, for their soul. And my favorite part was, when he offered to give Lex back a healthy body, and Lex was like, I don't believe in souls. Okay, whatever.
Now, Kyle assumes here that he was after Superman's soul, but I think that was a feint, wasn't it somebody else's soul?
I'm trying
it was Captain Marvel, wasn't it?
Oh, it might have been. I mean, I can see that.
I think that might have been it. It's been so long. You know what? I'm gonna have to look that up now.
Yeah. I was gonna look that up too. Yeah, I mean, it's. I could see Cal making that mistake because I don't think at this point Cal knew.
Captain Marvel was a young boy.
Oh my lord! But yeah, this whole. But yeah, Mr. Freeze will show up in one of the Green Lantern issues. But Mr. Freeze was big, man. I think after this, he shows up here in Green Lantern. He shows up in a Batman book too. So
yeah, and I think, let's see, when was
I love Batman.
Freeze had kind of been rehabilitated a little bit because of Batman the Animated Series, I think, right?
Well, yeah, because it's funny because it's welcome to the Mr. Freeze podcast. Well, no, I know they make it kind of look like the Joker kind of kills him in the beginning of was it the Robin 2 miniseries?
Uh-huh.
And I think they said it's like Denny O'Neil wanted to get rid of him or something. Like they were prepared to just literally dump him in the river, which is kind of what the Joker's guys did. But I guess he gained so much popularity from the animated series that they brought him back during Nightfall. So
let's see. Blue Beetle. Still first region. Blue Devil. Okay.
Blue Devil, Blue Beetle.
Oh, soon after the heroes discover that Superman is not trapped in the underworld at all, Trickster begins to realize that Superman was never the pure soul that Neuron sought at all. His true target was Captain Marvel. Wow.
Nice.
Okay, so there we go. That was my question has been answered. Thank you, Internet.
Yeah, I think he had something going on for a while. Like I don't know if he had all the Souls of Flash's rogues and stuff.
Because they did something, and I think Wade. I remember Mark Wade saying that kind of regretted killing them all, and then ultimately they got brought back.
Yeah, because like their soulless bodies were like on a rampage or something, and Flash had to like work a deal, where they got their souls back and stuff. Oh, speaking of that, did you see the sad news Mark Waid broke
sad
today?
news about Bryan Augustyn, who was, I believe, Mark Waid's editor on Flash. Isn't that? I think that was.
I mean, he did a ton of work because I know Wade posted on Facebook today. It's like they kind of started pretty much almost at the same time, and they were all like working with each other. And because I think he said Bryan, like, I don't know if he asked him for help on Gotham by Gaslight, and he's like Bryan never didn't need help on that. He's like Bryan had that,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he had been an editor, a writer in comics for a really, really long time.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, as long as I can remember reading comics since like the late '80s. Yeah, I remember always hearing his name, seeing it on stuff. When I'm looking up the Wikipedia, so we'll see another big 67 years old. Oh yeah, I guess he did a bunch of like indie comics.
That was the way to break in back then, was all the independent companies that were out there. Let's see, the new Flash series debuted in '87, didn't it?
Well, it says in '88 he joined DC Comics, starting out as a co-editor on Action Comics during its period as a weekly title.
Okay.
So man, he really hazed him. And later, the Flash, Justice League, and Impact Comics line of titles. So yeah, as editor of the Flash beginning in 1989, he brought in Mark Waid as writer in 1992, which led to an acclaimed 8-year run. Wow,
that's a lot of comics. A whole lot of comics.
Oh yeah, they're saying that his collaborations with Waid, editor-writer partnerships included The Comet from DC Impact, the Flash spinoff Impulse.
Oh, I remember Impulse, yeah.
And he won the Wizard Fan Award for favorite editor in 1994.
Cool. How old was he?
67.
That's not old.
Yeah,
That's not old at all.
Nope, not at all. Oh wait. So as a solo writer, he worked on DC's Batman Gotham by Gaslight, its sequel, Batman Master of the Future, and Black Condor. Marvel's Imperial Guard, Wildstorm Productions out there, and Crimson and Dreamwave Productions, Mega Man. So so this guy's worked all over the industry, and
Well, he worked on that was one of the, I think the Wildstorm stuff was Ramos's book over there.
Yeah.
At Cliffhanger. I guess it was a Cliffhanger was an imprint for a while. It's been a while.
Oh, but he again, big time collaborator with Mark Waid. They collaborated on the life story of the Flash graphic novel, which I remember that.
Yeah.
And co-wrote the story in Flash 142 from October 1998 when Wally West married Linda Park.
Cool.
So so he's man.
Well, I would raise a drink, but I don't have anything to drink. But he will be missed.
Man, we're losing all these creators, man.
Yeah. We're all getting older.
That's why I don't want to jinx anybody, but I'm so glad that me and Lilith got to talk to Jerry Conway a few weeks back.
Very cool, yeah.
That's like I said to Jerry Conway, I'm like, you've been in this like your entire life, because I was like, didn't you start at like 16? He's like, he sold his first work like right before he turned 16. I'm like, holy crap, 15. I know, and he's like, well, we had to make it happen this year because he's 69 years old.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Lilith demanded it, so so I'm like, man, so like basically from like right before he turned 16 to he was in that for how long?
That's pretty awesome. That's 50 years. Over 50 years.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about this the other day, like our favorite Mark Grunwald and like Peter David, like guys like that, like even Mark Waid, like it wasn't unheard of for people to do like 10-year runs on books. They never do that anymore. You get like a year or two.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only place you see long runs now are not Marvel, not DC, maybe Image, maybe Dark Horse, and then independent, the indies, where it's just some goofball, like me, doing their own thing, and nobody else is going to do it, so I'll do it.
And then
But yeah.
Yeah, then did you see in the spring, I guess they're rebooting Amazing Spider-Man again, back to another #1 again.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, after the whole thing they're doing now, they're going back to a new #1. But I guess John Romita Jr. is coming back to pencil it. That's another one.
Wow,
I forget what they said. I forget what they said. Is this like they said like his 7th or 8th time coming back to pencil Spider-Man?
He started out so young, being the son of John Romita Sr. and, he was doing Marvel work probably when he was a teenager, would be my guess.
I mean, that's what I said. I think his greatest work is on Spider-Man. At least that's where my favorite work of his is at Spider-Man.
I don't know, man.
Just the pressure. After like Steve Ditko, who's like the big name you think of for Spider-Man?
Romita Sr. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you got to live up to that.
But Junior, I don't know. I thought because he has this grittiness to his art, and I thought it really worked on like what was it? The book that he did was Punisher Warzone, and his Daredevil was good.
Yeah. I like his street level stuff more than like he's done like Thor and Superman, which were good, but like I like his street level like Spider-Man, Daredevil.
Thor was interesting because Thor was really big and bulky, and it kind of had a Kirby influence to it. Making him look like Kirby kind of made him. So yeah.
Wow. I kind of like him on the smaller guys like Spider-Man. Yeah.
His Spider-Man was with J. Michael Straczynski, right? When he was
that time he's been on there again. He's done it times.
Yeah.
I think he did it in the 80s. Did he start in the 70s or 80s? I'm pretty sure he
started.
It was
like late 70s, mid to late 70s, because he was on Iron Man, I think, with Bob Layton, like inking him, I think. During the David.
Oh yeah.
Michelini. I can never pronounce that right, but yeah. He's done a lot of comics. One page at a time for years and years.
I never know if it'll be morbid, but I don't know if I should like reach out to Mark Waid because I've talked to him a couple times and be like, "Hey, do you want to like just come on and talk about your friend Bryan?" Just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because people love hearing those stories, and
Oh yeah. And it's the oral history of the comics, of comics, because up until the 80s, there were the big guns, and that was it. And then in the 90s, the mid 80s, there was a big explosion of all the indies, and then in the early 90s, you got Image, and but so much of the history of comics is locked up in the history of the big two, Marvel and DC.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Will. Some weeks, especially when we have a heavy Guy Gardner and Darkstar week, sometimes I sit here and
we just talk about everything else.
we should just get on every week talking like the history of comics, or hey, what creator are we gonna spotlight this week?
And by the way, we read Darkstars 35, 36, and 37.
We read 3 Darkstars and 3 Guy Gardners this week, kids.
Yeah.
As you can tell. Because any other week, we're like, yeah, let's jump into it. But this week,
right into it.
What other creator from our talking about?
I was showing you in the pre-show stuff that I got my comics order. So,
I told you we should have did it right here. You should have unboxed them live, Will.
Yeah. Getting ready to read Green Lantern number 10.
Yeah, that's good.
Looking forward to that. DC versus vampires,
with your buddy Hal, yeah.
Buddy Hal, yeah. And
I of course love Hal Jordan.
Exactly. I do indeed. Let's see. What else we got here? Detective, Batman, Justice League versus Legion. I'm looking forward to that because of the green. I love the Legion, and I love the Lantern connection.
Batman.
I love Batman.
Do we know somebody that loves Batman?
Oh yeah.
I love Batman.
All the kids love Batman.
That's right.
Oh,
She-Hulk number 1 had to get the Adam Hughes cover because I
think that's the one I got. Yeah. Oh no, I was looking at the list because I'm going to the store to pick mine up tomorrow. Justice League Incarnate number 4 comes out, which I already saw spoilers for it. So Okay, here's the story. Like I said, I haven't read it yet. I just saw the
Uh-huh.
article, but I guess they're going to be writing the Great Darkness as like, has always been trying to destroy the universe. Before the universe, there was just nothingness, and the Great Darkness must have loved that. So
Yeah.
the Great Darkness wants to bring that back. So I guess it's like the Great Darkness has been. Is it a he? I don't know. But I guess he's been manipulating all these villainous figures throughout time, trying to destroy, because it's like every crisis, I guess they're trying to tie all this crisis together where it's like, yeah, he's manipulated everyone, like, Crisis on Infinite Earths. I don't know if he put the idea in the anti-monitor's head or whatever, but
I said, yo, go take care of this, buddy.
exactly. So like I said, I'll read it tomorrow. Yeah, I guess they're trying to, show it. Oh, every crisis we ever had, it's been a big plot.
It's all been a giant plot. It's a trap. My Akbar senses are tingling.
Oh, me and Lil have said we're like, you know what? Except for like saving one or two things, I mean, we wouldn't mind them winding stuff back to like pre-crisis.
Yeah, I mean, just
maybe keep Superman's marriage and his kid and stuff. Besides that, just rewind everything.
Because they're, we've chatted about this before. In a just DC universe, Superman would not let Lobo run around. Okay. Batman wouldn't, Green Lantern, nobody would let him run around because he killed his entire planet, right? I mean, he doesn't fit with the rest of the DC universe, but they kind of just hand wave that away and Lobo's there, right?
I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, it's like, yeah, if we were playing by Silver Age rules again, I mean, yeah, Lobo would be a straight up villain.
Exactly. And I still kind of consider him one, but anyway, whatever.
Exactly. He had that 90s armor to protect him.
Yeah, there's lots of, isolating. I mean, when you get right down to it, Batman doesn't make a lot of sense in a world where there are Green Lanterns and Flashes and Superman and Wonder Woman and all those things, because he's, a street level. How can you be a detective when the rules of physics aren't set, right?
I had an idea for the last couple of days. I'm trying to hunt down I don't know which panel I would use, but I'm looking for a panel that just sum it up, because I want to make a meme that just says, "Tell me you're bad God," without saying you're bad God.
Well, I mean, it's a locked room mystery. So, in a locked room mystery, they always committed suicide. That's just the way. That's the way that detective fiction works. Okay, if it's impossible, they tried to make it look like a murder. Well, it wasn't. They committed suicide. Well, but if you've got someone like the Martian Manhunter who can be invisible and walk through walls, and not unless you hand wave and say, "Oh, he left a trace when he walked through." I mean, it's.
I mean, again, with guys like Batman and even like, the guys without powers on, in any universe, it's like you kind of have to make them really badass, because, if Batman's keeping up with like Superman and Wonder Woman, you gotta.
And there's a new comic coming by Mark Waid, and the art looks really great, and I cannot remember the artist's name. I'll look it up in a little bit, but the Batman Superman, World's Finest.
Yes, did you? I don't know. You said you got it for the boy, so I don't. Is it in your stack? Detective 1050. There's like two backup stories in there. The last one, it's a couple page. I don't know if it's like.
Oh yeah, here it is.
I don't know if it's like a prequel or if it's the first couple pages of it, but yeah, if you look in the back, there's the last backup story. It's kind of like it's like a preview or something of the Mark Waid Batman Superman book.
Cool.
It looks like it's like a flashback, because
Dan Mora is the artist.
Yeah,
the art's really nice.
Yeah, but it looks like it's a flashback. I would. That kind of seems like Dick Grayson or Robin to me. So yeah, I can't wait for that.
That looks nice. Yeah, and
I'm gonna have to reach out to Mark Waid just for that. Be like, talk some Batman Superman.
And the Marvel universe doesn't kind of have that, because it was always a lot more, excepting the first several issues of the Fantastic Four, it was a lot more grounded, than the DC universe was at the time. So,
well, yeah, that wasn't the original pitch. It's like, oh, the world outside your window.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, look at Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Still need to see that. I have seen Shang-Chi and Eternals now.
Oh, did you like him?
Yeah, I thought Eternals was.
They could have trimmed that a little more, I think. I
thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, making spoilers. Spoilers.
when they come out in November, yeah, I think beginning
Yeah.
of November, yeah, I think you're safe.
Making Icarus, it made a lot of sense in the continuity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I feel like they streamlined and kind of really changed the way not only the Celestials work, but also the way that the Eternals and the Deviants work as well. From the comics.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they had to have it fit in a movie. I get that.
I'm like, they're robots.
Basically. But I expect we'll see all of them again because their memories are stored and they'll get new bodies, right? So
yeah. What did you think of Shang-Chi and like basically giving him like through those rings like superpowers?
That's pretty cool. And his sister, with her, I forget the name of that weapon. They both had extra.
Yeah.
They were extra. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't. I really liked the cast. Michelle Yeoh and
oh yeah. They brought back Trevor from Iron. They brought back Trevor from Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Spoilers.
I'm like, oh my god, Tony Stark is dead and Trevor's still around.
Still alive. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to pour one out for Tony Stark. Oh, good lad. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they were both, pretty well done. I'm kind of itching to see Spider-Man, but we're going to be waiting for that to come to Disney Plus and before we.
I don't know if that's even coming to Disney Plus. That's Sony, so.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure it'll come to streaming or something eventually. But
yeah.
I mean, Blu-ray if nothing else. Yeah, you know what? I like Shang-Chi and Eternals, but Spider-Man
I've heard it's pretty awesome, and it sets up kind of a new status quo for him, which.
Yes, definitely.
Because that's one of the things that I haven't really liked. He's basically Iron Spider, with all the tech and all the everything. It didn't feel as much like the classic, Peter Parker Spider-Man.
I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, he gets more comic. By the end of the movie, he's more comic accurate. So
cool, very cool.
All right, Will, should we do this?
Let's do this, man.
All right, so where should we start? Should we just power through the first three? We'll power through the 3 Darkstars and the 3 Guy Gardners, and then spend a little bit of time on Green Lantern.
That sounds good to me, man. And I feel like we're starting with the best of the non-Green Lantern books, and then we dip into Guy Gardner, and then we
palate cleanser.
Get back to Green Lantern. Exactly.
All right, so yeah, the Darkstar. I mean, considering some of the Darkstars we've had, these ones weren't too bad.
Yeah, and I felt like the art had improved this issue too, and it looks like it's the same artist, but I think he did a better job. So I think he was.
Maybe
it looked a lot. Just looked clearer. Maybe it was the colorist, or maybe the inker changed. I don't know, but the art looked better these 3 issues.
Well, like this first one's October 1995. Were they starting to get into more digitals too? Maybe.
I'm trying to think. The digital coloring stuff. I think it started maybe mid 90s to late 90s. I can't remember for sure. So it's possible, that it was digital. I just don't remember when it started. I know that the digital lettering, Marvel was doing that maybe early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, I think. And now, there are people that do entire books completely digital. They don't.
Oh yeah.
They don't draw on paper. They don't ink on paper. They don't color. It's all digital, which is cool, but I'm old school. I like the thought of original art, that the page, with pencil and ink and, blood, sweat, and tears on it. Not that digital artists don't work as hard. It's just that they don't leave a trace on their iPad or their laptop or whatever. or they're whack-em.
Well, you're in the game. I mean, you know more about how the sausage is made. So like some of those people now, like if they work all digital, like do they like print out their art and sell it or anything? Or
I've seen, I've there's a couple of ways I've seen it, like
NFTs.
early on, what you would have would be pencilers would scan in their pencils, and then they would send them to the inker. The inker would print them out as blue lines, and they would ink that. So you would still have the original pencils and the original inks. And I think Mike Waringo was doing that on his Fantastic Four run with Mark Waid. And I think Carl Kessel was inking it, but I'm not sure. I'd have to check that. So that was kind of one way to do it. But now, I have seen some artists sell hey, here's page 1. It's limited to 10 prints or 5 prints or whatever. They'll print it out and maybe do a remark on it or something like that. But, it's, I've showed you back when we were doing the Quantum Zone podcast, I, showed you guys some of the art that I've accumulated over the years from the Quasar series. And it's just awesome because there's the page, with letters. And now, these days, even if an artist works traditionally, and they're going to put it all the ink on the page and everything, the letters aren't on the page because that's all done digital. Okay. and the coloring is all done digital. So, that's the page, right? That was, colorists now they can do so much more, and they're much more important to the book, and letterers now too.
Oh yeah,
because they can do slightly different effects, for different word balloons, or they can do, different captions. They can do so much more. And I think they really, Nate Picos, Blambot, just did a book, a lettering guide book that I think I've ordered it. It's not in yet, or I'm going to order it. It's in my cart. I don't know, but lettering is really, this kind of invisible art because they're doing graphic design and they're leading the eye, and nobody notices the lettering unless it's bad, right?
Yeah.
And so that's something that Kevin and I talk about a lot when we do Explain Yourself, which we talk about Kickstarters and stuff, comic Kickstarters. But you can have awesome art, awesome writing. The coloring can be it can be just beautiful. But if you put bad lettering on it, it makes it all look professional, So, so letterers, I don't think, get as much due as they deserve. So I always try to call it, letterers are awesome. So are colorists.
I would, that's the thing. And I would talk to letterers and colorists, but I'm I don't even know what it's one of those things. It's if they're doing their job and they're doing it well, it's your eyes are just you're.
I have to go back and look who did that.
It's one of those things where you don't notice until something goes wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. You look at Walter Simonson's work, and he works with, someone like, I think it's Tom Warzakowski, and it has a look, and you can, because it looks the same when he was doing it on Thor, and the effects are the same when he was doing Orion. I can't recognize very many letterers, but I recognize him. And
because I wouldn't recognize the name, but if you showed me
I know that guy.
Oh yeah, that's the guy before. Yeah.
And then there was his name's Dave Sharp. He was lettering 20 books a month a few years ago from DC, and he was doing Harley Quinn. And he would make the red tool. He would make, hammer would be the caption shape. And I was like, that's just brilliant,
Oh, yeah. Seriously, Green Lantern Jazz. We should just do a history of DC comics.
Well, we would get to Darkstars and Green and Guy Gardner eventually, then, wouldn't we?
We already did it. We're not coming back. All right, let's get into these. All right, so first one is Darkstars 35 from October 95, The Promised Land. Writer Michael Jan Friedman, penciler Mike Collins, inker Ken Branch, colorist Linda Medley, letterer Bob Pinaha, and editors Jason Hernandez, Rosenblatt, and Paul Kupperberg.
Cool.
While Donna Troy and the Flash are searching for a lost expedition in Antarctica, Farron Carlos searches for a way back to his dimension.
That's pretty much it. And like I said, I thought the art was improved on this issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like the writer really wanted to tell Farron Carlos' story.
Yeah.
And Donna and, Wally's little escapade was less interesting to him and, ultimately to me as a reader, because it wasn't bad, but it was just.
Yeah, since the beginning, I think the writer wanted to tell his story, and it's just like, no, you got to bring in John Stewart, you got to bring in Donna Troy. We need some names in here, yeah.
Yeah. But I thought this was a pretty good issue, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we get that whole thing with John and what's her
Moraine? Is that it?
Or whatever. Yeah, like kind of flirting. He's like, "What am I doing?"
And then in 36, we get a visit to Xanshi, don't we?
Is that? Yeah, I know. It's. I read these back to back. I'm trying to remember which is which, but yeah, I think so.
Because he gets drugged to. What's the planet? Not
Xandar. Not Xandar.
Not Xandar. That's Novacor. Yeah. It's with one of the early Green Lanterns, the bird. I can't believe I don't know this. I should totally know this.
Let me see. But with Tomar Ray.
Tomar Ray, yeah.
Tomar too, yeah. Xudar.
Zudar or X, whatever. We'll call it. How about Zudar? Does that sound okay to you?
Okay.
So, which actually he mentions, hey, you saved before the Guardians left, you saved all the Mosaic cities. Good job. Okay.
I know. I'm like, did they tell them to throw it in and be like, oh hey, yes, we would not be here if it wasn't for you. We were on Mosaic, now we are here.
Now we are here. Yay.
Alive and well.
Thank the editor.
And still nobody mentions Rose. Nobody mentions those teenagers.
He actually does mention Rose.
I know he mentions her, but we don't.
Yeah, we never see him again. No, we never see him.
She could be dead or alive, but yeah, because he thinks about the relationship. But
and in Guy Gardner, we get a mention of Carrie Limbo.
Yeah,
the Underworld Unleashed stuff. So,
but yeah, no, 36. It's Flash and Donna Troy. Yeah, that fight in Antarctica. Farron Carlos finally returns to this dimension. I mean, it's been how long?
It's been like what, 12 issues maybe?
Since Donna came on the book. When was that? Since at least 0 Hour, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Sometime in 94.
Yeah. So maybe over a year, I guess.
Do you think maybe that might have went longer, but they were like, oh, hey, the book's coming to a close soon. If you want to bring them back, do it now.
I think so, because surely they knew by this point that the book was getting canceled, because, they already knew, at least at 37, that 38 was going to be the last issue.
I was going to say 36. Yeah, I mean, it's only 2 months away. So I'm assuming they knew, and don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
So yeah, Farron Carlos returns, and Neuron helps Evil Star break out of his prison. Remember Evil Star, kids?
He's been a punchline for so long, but he is kind of powerful and scary, right?
Mm-hmm. I just read this. I can hear you now. This time it's like, the whole Trevor and Tony Stark thing. Man, Hal's all parallax now, and Evil Star's still running around. Come on, man. Remember that? Oh, hey, I'm gonna steal your battery. So that all happened, kids.
Yeah, and then the battle with the horse guys, but with Wally and Donna, while Farron first fights Guy and then teams up with him.
Yeah, I mean, I read all of these on Sunday, and it's like I'm still confused about that timeline, because I'm like, wait a minute, did we actually get to the point in the Darkstars 37 in the Guy Gardner book? I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, because at the end of it, it says, "Hey, check this out," in Guy Gardner, and then Guy Gardner catches up to that point, and then we don't even really see Guy Gardner much of an issue because the clone goes back to Earth, right?
Yes, yeah. It seems like a lot of it takes place off panel. Do you think maybe it was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna cross over with Darkstars. Oh wait, it's getting canceled. Turn around, turn around.
Yeah, I don't know. It and, a guy cuts his hair. Yeah, that was
Yes, well,
was a thing.
Oh jeez, yeah, because 37 of Darkstars, The Long Way Home. While trying to rescue some former Green Lanterns, Farron Collis runs into Warrior. Startled by his appearance and attitude, weren't we all?
Yeah.
Collis engages Warrior in a brief fight before the two of them are attacked by Evil Star.
Evil Star.
Evil. Is he evil?
How about no?
Nice.
Yeah. So that was your Darkstars update, kid. So
Yeah.
What do we think of that, Will?
And those took me longer to read because I think they were a little bit more dense story-wise.
Yeah. Well, again, you had a
And
couple different storylines going on. I mean, you had the Flash and Donna stuff. You had John and Mirren or whatever, Colin Farros, and he finally comes back. And then get the Underworld Unleashed, Neuron's freaking Evil Star.
yeah, it's chaos.
And then Colin Farros is running in the Guy Gardner.
Yeah, and then the Guy Gardner, I mean, it was just 3 issues of fighting, wasn't it? I mean, that's kind of what we expect from Guy Gardner.
In Guy Gardner's 90s series? Get out of town! For a nice change of pace, huh?
Yeah, for a nice change of pace, we had another battle this issue.
It wasn't the Shakespeare that Way of the Warrior was, Will? Is that what you're saying?
Wow.
Well, we're not far from the end of that too, because that's what 44. So
yeah, we'll still have like 7 more issues of 44 or 46. I can't remember.
No, it's
44.
I think it's 44. Yeah, it's not 46. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird because every other word out of anybody's mouth that wasn't Guy Gardner was, "Oh, look how powerful he is! He's awesome! He's great!" And then he gets canceled, and we don't hear about him again until Rebirth, except some occasional background appearances and appearances in Green Lantern.
Yes, exactly. Because let's get through these. Guy Gardner, Warrior 35, October 1995. Writer Phil Jimenez wrote this. Penciler Joyce Chin, inkers John Stokes and Andy Lanning, colors Lee Lothridge, letterer Albert de Guzman, and editor Eddie Reganza. Warrior leads a daring mission to rescue some former Green Lanterns until he's attacked by Joe Gardner.
Yeah. I thought the art was really nice on this. Joyce Chin is a really good artist.
Yeah.
But I thought the colors were maybe a little bit muddy or something because it didn't, I don't know. In places, there were times that it was fine, like when he was at the bar.
Yeah. Well, once again, you read this digitally like I did, right?
Yeah.
I'm always like, sometimes I don't know if this 90s stuff always translate when you digitize it and stuff.
Scans well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. DC, you want to pay me to scan stuff? I'll do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get some of the former Green Lanterns. I mean, we get Brick.
Yeah.
looking a little less rocky, and wasn't she?
And she's not happy when she finds out.
Hal? Where's Hal?
Where's Hal? No, not now, Brick. Fine, he went nuts. He's parallax.
But it was just funny because she got the 90s makeover. I was like, wait a minute, is she more curvy than before? Wait.
Yeah, it's a little part blockier. It's in the other earlier issues.
She finally got sexier somewhere out in the cosmos. Parallax is like, son of a bitch.
And I don't remember the story with Aricia. I guess we'll get into it, but she healed like super fast, or
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think it's a lot of off panel. It's like, oh, hey, she healed really. I mean, is that a trait of her people, or is it just?
I
Oh
don't
wait,
know.
I'm trying to.
Was there was a subplot with her, but I can't remember what it was, or if
I
it
mean,
ever.
we didn't see it. I mean, that wasn't a neuron thing, was it?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Like I said, I never
guess
read
we'll see.
Underworld Unleashed, but in these issues, I don't think we saw any of that.
Do we have another annual in 7 issues, or have we already done? We've done both annuals, right?
Yeah, I think we're done with the. Oh, you know what? Yeah, there's one more annual, but I think it's one of those Legends of the Dead Earth, so it has nothing to do with like regular
gotcha.
continuity. Yeah. So we don't have to bother with it.
We will have done every. We will have done every issue of Guy Gardner, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I guess that's our.
I mean, unless you want me to throw in that Legends of the Dead Earth, the annual, I mean, that's fine.
We should. Yes, we should do it.
Okay, I'll look at the schedule. Maybe 1 week, because Green Lantern probably had one too, right? Maybe we'll just do Legends of the Dead Earth.
Legends of the Dead Earth, yeah. And Darkstars got canceled, I think, before that hit, right?
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. I was looking. I mean, unless it's not on the DC Universe app or something. I don't know if they ever got an annual Darkstars.
I don't think they did either. Yeah.
All right.
Great. Guy Gardner number 38.
36.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Hey, I was missed 35 on the schedule, and I knew you'd be sad if I missed that. So I was like, no, we gotta add 35.
Thanks so much, Phil.
And then yes, 36, we get that Underworld Unleashed cover with Joe Gardner.
Uh-huh.
Joe Mama returns.
And I that whole issue, I was just like, whoa, what?
I liked it better the first time we did it when we did it with Eclipse.
Yeah, it's like 5 new characters showed up. Like, wait, who's this? Wait, what that?
Wait, what?
What's going on here? Are these people getting killed or not? Because supposedly, I don't understand. I just don't get it.
I look at them trying to draw people when the Daryl Banks did the cover. So cool. Daryl Banks, Dan Davis, and Scott Bauman did the cover, but Guy Gardner Warrior 36, the darker side of evil.
I think the art on this one was by Paul Pelletier. I think that may.
No, 36. It's saying penciler Mark Campos, inker Dan Davis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Green Lantern. All those teams together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The one Green Lantern is Pelletier. Yeah. This is a Bo Smith again. Oh Lord. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this synopsis. Joe Gardner decides to take over Warriors, but it is promptly attacked by Blackguard, Cheetah, and Earthworm. After the villains display their new powers from Neuron, Joe decides to make a deal with Neuron himself.
After a crazy battle.
So what's worse than a Guy Gardner issue? Well, a Guy Gardner issue with no Guy Gardner in it.
That's part of a crossover.
Yes. That's just so weird to me, because it's just like part of a crossover. You think you might be getting more eyes on this book, but it's like, yeah, we're not gonna have the main character in it.
It's all right. He's popular enough.
I mean, if you just picked this up as part of the crossover and never read Guy Gardner before, would you be like,
what the heck is going on here?
This Guy Gardner? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They should have steered. If they were going to do this, they should have steered into the skid. On that cover, they should have put a big X through the Guy and Guy Gardner Warrior and put
Joe.
Put Joe Gardner Warrior. All they put is the return of Guy Gardner Warrior. They should have put the return of Joe Gardner Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what happened to him at the end, like when he first appeared. So I guess did he get thrown in a prison or something? Or
I think he just went roaming the universe. He said he wanted to go get and then he ends up, his ship tries to get hijacked, which was weird. And then he ends up fighting saving the Green Lanterns. And yeah, it was weird.
I've read many comic book. Will never let them go wander the universe, because they always come back angry.
Exactly. Want to go home now. Break stuff.
Exactly. All right, Guy Gardner Warrior 37 from December 1995 with Guy and John on the cover. Let's make a deal.
Okay, Monty.
I know. Exactly. This one had the Paul Pelletier cover.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like the same team from the last one on the inside though. Warrior and Farron Carlos defeat Evil Star, who had recently been freed by Neuron. See, that's what I'm saying. It happens like off panel.
I know, yeah. It's just like, oh, I hear his voice, and then suddenly he's free, and all the Starlings are there. And does he kill all those Starlings? Are they like alive? Is that?
I don't know. I wonder too. I wonder if a lot of it was supposed to take place in the Darkstar book, but since it was getting canceled, they kind of like
They wanted to keep 38 for it, so they just moved it over. I don't know.
So Warrior and Farron Carlos defeat Evil Star, who had recently been freed by Neuron. So he's off in space causing havoc too. Okay.
Yeah.
After the fight, Neuron offers to bring back all of Guy Gardner's lost friends and family if he'll kill Jon Stewart.
And I was like, why pick on Jon Stewart? I mean, that seemed like a really weird, why not? Hey, kill Arisia. She was,
I was thinking about it. I mean, they had already erased him, but I mean, if you go with the whole retcon thing, I mean, do you think maybe Neuron was afraid of like Jon rediscovering those Guardian powers or something?
Maybe, but I mean, he gives this weird reason that he was supposed to die or something.
He's like, yeah, he mucked up the timeline and stuff. Yeah. But no, I'm thinking, yeah, he was afraid of, if Jon ever rediscovers those Guardian powers, which he's done recently.
I think that's a good way to read it, and which is totally not what anybody actually intended then.
Yeah. When this book was written, but yeah, that's my headcanon. Yeah. Yeah. Because, Norman's probably like, oh, hey, the Guardians are gone, but oh, God, if Jon Stewart,
If he realizes that, he's going to ascend, which I'm going to be reading number 10 just like in minutes.
And you know what? I'm glad they didn't drag this out either. But in the same issue, Guy ultimately rejects the offer, but Neuron makes a new deal with Joe Gardner, transforming him into the Enforcer.
Guy
So,
Gardner, Warrior, Joe Gardner, Enforcer.
Yes. So yeah, like you said, like he offered to bring back Kari Limbo, Kilowog, Mace Gardner, his brother, Raleigh Gardner, his father, and Ice,
who wasn't really dead because she comes back, right?
Yeah, I don't remember how she comes back. I don't know. Was she dead or technically dead? No,
can't remember.
I can't remember.
Was she in Blackest Night too as a zombie, or
I can't remember.
We'll get there.
Yeah, because I think she might have. New 52 might have New 52 resurrected a bunch of people. But
yeah.
Wait, are you saying Neuron lied, Will?
I just have no sympathy for the devil.
The hell? The hell will you say? But yeah, I'm glad they didn't like drag out that whole thing. Like Guy chasing Jon for like a whole arc, and then at the end, like, oh, I can't kill him.
Yeah, it's just like he went there. Hey, man, you almost killed me. Almost.
Like, almost. I know. So I'm assuming that they didn't want to like mess up Guy Gardner too much. They're like, yeah, bring in Joe.
Let's screw him up.
Do all the stupid stuff Guy used to do. Yeah, bring Joe in.
And I wonder if at this point, Darkstars, they knew Darkstars was canceled.
Yeah.
We had 7 issues. I wonder if they knew they had 7 issues left, or if they didn't know yet that he was. I mean, if they probably knew they were getting close to cancellation, I would guess, based on sales, but they didn't know when the hammer was going to fall, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Oh my God. I was scrolling through the notes. Oh my God. I'm assuming Underworld Unleashed went through every DC book. So there's a big long list of.
Oh yeah. Hang on. I got the list here for you here.
Oh, I got the list right here.
Wow. Adventures of Superman, Aquaman, Azrael, Batman,
Damage.
Catwoman, Damage, Detective, 2 Detective Comics, Extreme Justice, 10 and 11. Oh, that's the Star Sapphire issues with Carol Ferris.
Oh, we're gonna have to do that someday. Green Arrow, Manhunter, Flash,
Mhm.
Primal Force. Oh God,
Hawkman, Impulse,
Spectre,
Justice League Task Force, Legion of Superheroes.
Rebels. Remember them? Starman,
Yeah.
Fate,
Legionnaires.
because I gotta have Fate. Fate.
That's right. Superboy, Spectre,
Impulse.
Steel.
Mm,
On this list, I'm looking at dc.fandom.com. It says, hey, here's who accepted their deals. Here's who refused.
I think it's mostly, it's mostly villains, isn't it, who accept the deals?
They don't even mention Guy Gardner as not accepting his deal.
Oh,
Wow. They mentioned Batman, Captain Atom, Flash, Green Lantern, Miss Tech. I don't know. Oracle, Silver
my-
Swan.
oh my God! I always talk about the Lex Luthor deal. The best deal out of this mess is Neuron. Killer Moth accepts the deal. He turns him into an actual giant moth.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, this was all over DC for like what, 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, I starting to remember. Well, again, we get it. Pretty much 2 issues of Green Lantern out of it, so it was at least 2 months. Yeah,
Mhm. And then
there's a bunch of one shots and stuff too.
there's a trivia note here that says Batman was wise to refuse Neron's offer as Jason Todd returned to life anyway in the pages of Batman Annual number 25 as the Red Hood.
Oh man, can you imagine that deal? Oh, I can make that deal. He was already alive, kid.
Yeah, and done.
Hey, that would have been a better excuse than Superboy Prime punched a wall.
It was a load bearing wall. Okay.
Because everyone's like, was it a Lazarus pit? And they're like, don't be stupid. Superboy punched the wall. But then I think by the time we got to New 52, they're like, oh yeah, it was a Lazarus pit. What?
They're handy. They're pretty handy.
All right, so should we get to the Green Lantern issues?
You bet.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. All right. So the first one, Green Lantern 68 from November 1995. Oh God, Hellfire and Ice. Come on, DC. Hellfire and Ice. If you're gonna do that title, you couldn't have done it for issue 69. Come on. Would have made a fangirl's heart sore. Come on. Jeez. Hellfire and Ice.
I see it. I want it. I get it.
All right. Right. Of course, writer our friend of the show, Ron Mars.
Ron Mars, that's right.
Penciler Paul Pelletier, inker Romeo Tangle, colorist Linda Medley, letterer Elbert de Guzman, editors Kevin Dooley, Eddie Berganza, and Curtis King. I wonder if there's so many editors just to keep track of all the Underworld Unleashed.
Maybe.
I meant friend of the show, Ron Mars.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
That's right, kids. Never forget.
Sector 2814.
We did talk to him. Scroll down, kids. It's like 2 weeks ago. All right.
Episode 51.
That's right. All right. Oh, man, that would have been so great if it would have been 50. That's all right.
Well, and we had just talked about, Green Lantern and Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Paul Christian was paralyzed until Green Lantern gave him a bit of his power to help him walk. Remember last week? But when Neuron offers Paul more power, he seizes on the chance and is transformed into the villain Purgatory. He attacks Green Lantern and Darkstar while they are battling Mr. Freeze, who has also gained superpowers from Neuron. But like I said, Freeze was a thing because after this, he goes I think it's Batman 525, and I think he even mentions battling Green Lantern or mentioned something about a green light or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now
this sets up the Day of Judgment stuff. And the Day of Judgment stuff... No, sorry. This kind of sets up Day of Judgment, but we have Final Night first.
Yes.
To get to Day of Judgment, where Hal becomes the Spectre.
Yes.
I need to find all those issues. I have some of them, I think.
But I mean, no, this was interesting. I mean, it wasn't a bad issue considering it
No,
was like
yeah, it was a solid issue.
who's commenting on my hello Russell. I hate how it doesn't show it. I always have to look on my phone. Hello Russell from the Tombs of Evil.
Purgatory. Different book.
Exactly. Russell from the Tombs of Evil and the Trapped in a World, Howard the Duck podcast. I love J.F. Judge just because the Spectre wrecks everyone.
It's kind of like his job description is to wreck everyone.
He kind of supposed to wreck everyone, and then it's like during like our crisis, he comes in as like like the big cannon or
Yeah, he's the big gun.
Yes. Sorry, I was just pulling up the issue. I'd like to flip through it. Oh, come on, DC Universe. There we go. I guess I could not just be lazy and pull these out of my system downstairs, but
I've got to go find mine. I've got a bunch of boxes in the garage that I still have to go through and get all organized. But I'm a lazy slacker, so. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's no Daryl Banks, but I mean, I think Paul Pelletier was a good fill-in.
Oh yeah, and I think he wasn't the regular artist on Superboy for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I mean,
no, that was Tom Grummett. That was Tom Grummett.
Oh, Tom Grummett. Yeah.
Where
he might have done some Superboy though. Paul
filled in some or something. Yeah.
But no, I mean, all the characters look great. Cal, Donna. But yeah, so Cal and Donna just like taking care of like all people are just like going nuts, like riding and stuff. Then Cal's
like,
take
a carriage ride.
What?
Let's go take a carriage ride
through the air. Oh my god! Then it's like, hey, look at Central Park. It's all frozen over.
I wonder what that means.
And you can tell Mr. Freeze is all powered up because he's not wearing his suit. He's just like,
yep.
No environmental suit, and he's got the 90s physique. He's just like, get out of here. But no, I love how he freezes Donna, then Cal like melts her free, but then he like freezes like Cal up, and even Donna's like, these masers aren't as precise as your ring. I want to like
this is gonna hurt.
No. But that's when Purgatory shows up with like
beefaroni,
like, green rigatoni. From Seinfeld, yeah, when Kramer fed the horse beefarino. Mark your bingo card, kids. But I love it just like, we get new villain Purgatory with the green fire power. So, at the end, Cal's just like, let's smash the two villain, the ice villain and the fire villain together.
Problem solved.
Exactly. And like I said, Purgatory escapes, but yeah, Freeze goes down. But don't worry, kids, he escapes to unleash havoc in Batman 525. So all you fanboys know where to find him next.
That's right. I love Batman.
So any other thoughts on this one, Will?
That's just a decent issue. I think we're getting to the end of the Kyle and Donna relationship, aren't we? We're getting close.
Well, in 70 they kind of take a break, but I think back by 75 they're back together. But then they're together for a while, then they permanently break up. But yeah, Russell, I did say that. Yeah, they were ready to kill off Mr. Freeze, and then Batman the Animated Series like sparked that popularity again.
Yeah, and then he showed up also in Batman Beyond. I mean,
yeah. Oh, as a head, yeah.
That
was creepy, yeah.
Which was a really, really cool action figure, by the way, because the boys.
Oh, did the head come off?
Yeah, the head came off. It was awesome.
Mr. Freeze.
Not that I ever played with it or anything, because
hey,
it was an action figure, yeah.
Just with the head. Now with Mr. Freeze, now with Walt Disney action.
right. Frozen head. The Ice Age.
But yeah, no, the animated series, brought Mr. Freeze back to popularity. Like they even said, like in the '60s, like that '66 Batman saved like the Riddler, I think Catwoman, like a bunch of them were showing up for the longest time in the comics, and that show like kind of brought them back.
Yeah, when was Batman and let's see, Batman Forever?
95.
So Batman Beyond was after that. So
yeah, wasn't that like 99 or so? It was like 98 or 99, I think. Batman Beyond.
Because let's face it, that movie didn't do Mr. Freeze any
Oh,
favors.
Batman and Robin, you mean?
Yeah, okay, Batman and Robin, yeah.
Okay, that was 97. So yeah, it was like a year or two after that one. Yeah. So the animated probably saved him again. Oh, jeez, we killed the dinosaurs, the Ice Age. Okay, we're getting a little head too much fun. Jeez, Russell, you prevert. Lil, you know what, Russell? I'm gonna start calling you Lil Hellfire.
Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. That's true for guns and penises.
I don't know if she's worse sober or drunk.
Talking about me is so natural for Ray.
You're not taking me to the cooler. Yeah, kappas.
Cooler.
Superior puss.
All right. All right, let's get to Lil's favorite issue, Green Lantern 69. Could have been here, Lil. She's resting up. All right. Green Lantern 69, another Underworld Unleashed, December 95. Bargains. Let's see. Pretty much the same team because Pelletier still penciling. Yeah, I think it's the same team. Purgatory attacks Green Lantern and Darkstar for the second time, but when he fails again to kill Green Lantern, Neuron drags him down to hell.
Oops.
Oops.
Always read the fine print in contracts that you sign.
Yeah. But I guess like because Cal gives us in the beginning gives us like a brief rundown, because I guess what was it, Underworld Unleashed 2 takes place between 68 and 69.
Oh yeah, because he shows up at the very beginning of the issue, all beaten to heck by Neuron.
Yeah, and Donna's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, let me flash back for you," And he doesn't come out and say what Neuron offered him, but
we see it.
we see a big glowing refrigerator, so I think we know what he offered him. Alex. Man, somebody had a thing for refrigerators in this. Oh my god! I mean, I don't think I read Underworld Unleashed 2, but if Neuron actually showed him a refrigerator, he's a SOB,
He's the devil.
I knew it was the devil, but still, it's like you want the guy to take the deal. You don't want to piss him off, do you? Don't you want to show him is his girlfriend in her prime? Be like, hey, you can have this back, kid. So after Cal tells Donna the whole thing, he's like, "I'm gonna go stop Neuron," and but yeah, he says he had the willpower to refuse the deal. Then the cops find Purgatory in an alley, and then Neuron's like, "You got one more chance."
Yep.
Don't fail me. So yeah, that's when. So I'm assuming Neuron told him where to find Cal, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of wondering about that myself.
Because he shows up at Cal's apartment. I was like,
how did you do? Well, I mean, he's connected to this power, I guess. Maybe he just
yeah. So yeah, he blows into Cal's apartment, and Cal and Donna, Donna wants to help him. He's like, no, you got to get people out. The building's on fire. You got to get people out. I'll take care of this guy. She's like, I hate it when you're right.
Yeah, and then he uses his battery to basically just depower him.
I mean, we'll get more next issue, but did you see in this issue though some of the constructs, it looks like the Thing's hand, the fist he punches them with and stuff.
Oh, when those security guards first saw the glow, I was like, oh, Marvel versus DC. Wait,
I
different
know.
box.
Because he was like laying in like cardboard boxes. Yeah. But yeah, Donna's like clearing the building. Oh, including Cal's neighbor.
The model.
Yeah, Allison. Yeah, she's just out of the shower. Remember her for next week, kids. Like you said, he blasts them with the battery. He's like, I'm back, I'm normal. But that's when Noron drags him to hell, I guess. And Cal makes a whole firefighting department out of with energy. Man, good thing those that ring can work on yellow now, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when, like you said, he says the thing about, oh, oh, Noron's going after, the pure one. So I know where to find heroes. Hey, look, does he go to the Titans? No, he goes to the Justice
League. That's right.
So yeah, he goes up to the satellite. Oh, look, Guy's already there. Looks like Guy, Maxima, Firestar, Superboy's there.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Flash. So I'm trying to remember, did Noron like capture Superman or something? Shouldn't Superman be here?
I think that's what that he wanted everyone to think, so they would go try to rescue him and realize that, oh wait, he's not actually captured. And oh, we're all in hell now. Oops.
So I was trying to remember if Superman had Underworld Unleashed crossovers, right?
I think so.
Yeah, didn't you say Adventures of Superman? Yeah.
Adventures of Superman.
530. Yeah.
Superman, Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he did.
But not action, not regular Superman, and not.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Superman's off in space.
Ah, okay.
I do remember. You know what? Now that I looked at Adventures 530, yes, because like Adventures 530, it's like the special crimes units like tracking down one of the villains. Yeah, I remember these. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, it's the Trial of Superman. Yeah. So he's off in space. So that if Noron is trying to trick people, that's probably what he's doing. He's like, oh yeah, I have Superman. Do you see him anywhere? No.
Better come rescue him. Oh wait.
I think a bunch of aliens just came and grabbed Superman. So yeah, so he disappeared. So
nice.
Oh, that's right. After Noron like gave him Lex back in his like a new body, he trapped Lex and Joker in a snow globe.
You never know which Joker you're gonna get, right?
Yeah, in Man of Tomorrow 3, yeah, like after Noron's defeated, yeah, like the snow globe breaks, and the next thing Lex knows he's in the desert or something. I don't know if that's where Noron grabbed him or something. Can you imagine being trapped in a snow globe with the Joker?
Which one?
Oh my. The one and only. All right, Will. So we went a little long. So what did you think of this week?
Yeah, Darkstars was solid.
Better than it's been a lot of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. The quality jumped up, I think, with this final arc, which is kind of ironic and sad because.
Well, do you think all the Darkstars we've read, it's like a bit, probably a lot of editorial mandates, like you have to have Donna Troy, you have to have John Stewart. At this point, with the book coming to an end, you think they're just like, yeah, go crazy, go to town. So
do what, write your story. Yeah, I think
do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know that, but I think that that's a fair assessment of probably what happened. And the book, I feel like, is better, right here at the end. But Guy Gardner is still the same.
Exactly.
And these 2 issues of Green Lantern were, solid superhero stories.
Exactly. I mean, I thought they were pretty good, especially for a crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Ron Morris. All right. So you want to know what we're doing next week, Will?
Fire away, man. I can take it.
All right. So, first of all, we'll be doing Green Lantern 70, which Jon Stewart comes back to the book.
Nice.
Donna introduces Cal to Jon Stewart. So, yep.
Nice.
Guy Gardner, 38 and 39. So we're getting closer. And drumroll, kids. Hold on. Drumroll. The final issue of Darkstars, issue 38. Right. We're there. Woo, next week.
I'm kind of curious to see how it ends because I don't know that Farron Colas has appeared again, has he?
I don't think so. I mean, we can look it up real quick, but
yeah, let's see.
I mean, if he has, I don't think it's been anything major. Here we go. Watch, probably gonna like spoil something for next week. Yes, he had a low opinion of Green Lanterns. Yes, I know that.
Yeah, we were very much aware of that. Okay, let's see. Farron Colas, there he is. History assigned to Earth, Green Lantern. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking on the DC database here. I don't see much for after the last issue, which I already read. Yeah, I don't think he's shown up again.
Guy Gardner, Warrior 37, Legion, Volume 1, 57 and 58. I think those were part of the crossover, weren't they?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, it has him appearing in the other history of the DC universe.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, and the Power Company, that was a Kurt Busiek book.
Oh, yeah.
With Tom Grummett, maybe? I can't remember who did the art on that.
I think Grummett did some of it because I only read like 1 or 2 issues of it, and I believe it was Tom Grummett art.
Trinity, Darkstars, Superboy and the Ravers. That would have been while his book was going. Showcase 95 volume. Let's see when the Power Company came out.
Yeah.
That was in 2003. So, okay, he appeared in that and the other history of the DC universe. Genesis.
Oh yeah,
that was another crossover, wasn't it?
Oh, he might show up in. I don't want to spoil too much, kids, but Green Lantern 75, some Darkstars show up. So
okay. Yes, he does.
Yes. Yes, they'll come together to fight a threat. All right, Will, let's get out of here.
You got it, man.
Woo! All right, kids. So yes, so send your thoughts next week. Green Lantern 70, Guy Gardner 38 and 39, and the final Darkstars 38. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-capes. Hell, let us know what your favorite book from Underworld Unleashed favorite moment. So you can follow Sector 2814 on Facebook, on Twitter. Go join the Green Lantern fan group on Facebook. You can once again please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Every episode gets a video, so you can see that handsome devil himself, Will Allred. Yeah, I said devil.
You said devil, yes.
All right, so yes, so please subscribe to the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel. Most importantly, please, if you can, subscribe to our Patreon. Once again, we're out here on our own. We're all paying for this out of our own pockets, so any little contribution can help. But $3 to $5 gets you early access to all the creator interviews. Wilf and I talk to Mr. DG Chichester every month. But Patreon exclusives, the superhero movie brackets have begun, so get on board for the journey to the worst superhero movie of all time. And while you're doing that, you can be wearing your Capes and Lunatics or Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merchandise. So find all of that at Linktree, linktr.ee/capes and lunatics. And remember, kids, we're going to try to tomb him back one day. Matt Kona, follow him all over social media at Matt Kona, MATTKONA. Boston's finest now that Tom Brady's retiring. All right. Will Allred, master of the core, master of the quantum zone, master of the crossover division. Where can people find you?
Find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED. Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and probably some other places too that I don't remember, but they're there. If you want to find out more about Crossover Division, crossoverdivision.com, you can find the first 2 issues. There's 1 and 2.
Yay.
Number 3 it was funded on Kickstarter and is very close to being printed at this point. And also Diary of Night, diaryofnight.com.
Another good book.
You can find there if you like your vampire stories. And obviously we love Quasar and because he's awesome. And if you want to find out more about him, you can go to the Quantum Zone at quantumzone.org.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day. I blew that. Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
And again, thank you to our patrons, Ray, Justin, and Mr. Russell himself, who showed up in the chat room tonight.
You got to rub that one in.
Thank you, Russ. All right, kids. Went a little long, but we had a lot of books tonight. 8 books, Will. Not too bad.
8 books. We did 8 books, Phil.
8 books. Guys. And we did all that creator talk. I think we did a good job tonight.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, kids. That's right. Come back next week. We'll only do 4 books next week. Hey.
Yeah.
And the end of the Darkstars.
Although they will appear again.
Yes. And then, like I said, two Guy Gardners next week. Then after that, I think I have the last 4 or 5 in one episode. So, I mean, the end of Guy Gardner's coming here soon, too. So. Go punch drunk.
Yeah.
All right, kids. Come back next time. And remember, the devil makes a poor refrigerator repairman. Good night.